Dear students, welcome to our class on micrometeorology of crops, temperature 2. In this class, we are going to understand first law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics, the third law of thermodynamics with reference to micrometeorology of crops. Of course, crops means crops, plantations, and even other organisms as well. Now, see, the first our strategy is like this. I read these three laws and examples and demonstrate to you, then we discuss. This is how I thought of taking this class. Now, the first law of thermodynamics says that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. The example is crops convert the radiant energy of sun into chemical energy. This is the example. So, you presume that this is a 1 acre of crop. The energy that is falling on this crop is equal to the energy stored and energy leaving. Again, energy can neither be created or not destroyed. This is the example. Once again, the first law of thermodynamics, of course, work done is directly proportional to heat produced. In other words, so many ways it can be explained, but for we, the agrometeorologists, the energy that is falling in 1 acre of crop like this is equal to the energy stored by the crop, of course, in the soil, environment, and plus, not and plus, or the energy leaving it. This is the first law. Now, the second law of thermodynamics is very interesting. The second law of thermodynamics says entropy always increases with the time. Entropy always increases with the time. In other words, not all the energy entering into a system can be utilized for useful energy. Again, I repeat it. Entropy always increases with the time. Not all the energy entering into the system can be utilized for useful energy. Example, campfire. The solid wood burns and becomes ash, smoke and gases, all of which spread energy outwards more easily than the solid wood. Now, see, this is the campfire. I would like to demonstrate like this is a campfire. So, what the second law of thermodynamics says? The second law of thermodynamics says entropy always increases with time, number one. Not all the energy entering into the system can be utilized for useful energy. The campfire is the example. Now, here, this is the campfire. Now, here, when I am burning the campfire, here, what happens is, here, the campfire is causing, first fire, then smoke, and it is also giving the dust particles and other things energy. That means the smoke and everything. So here, as I explained here to you, please see that the solid wood, that what I have burnt, the solid wood, this is the solid wood, that I am burning, the solid wood that I am burning, yes, the solid wood burns and becomes ash. First ash, this is the ash, ash, smoke, smoke you have seen, and gases, all of which spreads energy. All these things spreads energy outward more easily than the solid wood. If I am taking the solid wood alone, there is energy, but when I am burning it, this is giving first the energy outwards. It is burning now. It is burning. So when it is burning, it gives out the energy outwards in three forms. You are seeing the smoke, you are seeing the fire, you are seeing the ash. This is the ash. This is what is the second law of thermodynamics. This is an example. As far as crops are concerned, I will tell you. Now, the third law is very, very simple and very, very interesting. What the third law of thermodynamics says? Third law. The entropy of a system approaches a constant. The entropy of a system approaches a constant value as the temperature approaches absolute zero. At absolute zero, temperature, all atoms stop moving. Now here, so I would like to explain a very interesting thing. Two things are there. Before I go to third law I will explain to you. Simple. Classical example I have written here. at absolute temperature, all the atoms stop moving. This has got relevance to our agricultural metrology. That you should remember. Nobody else will say other than agrometeorologists for an answer for this. At absolute temperature, even in 2021, November 30th. Okay, 2021, November 30th. This is not achieved by anybody. Absolute zero, 273 plus degrees centigrade, minus 4 we call it as. However, at that temperature, what will happen? Atoms stop moving. Okay, now, from agricultural meteorology point of view, I'm telling, not from pure physics, that I'm discussing, I'm not discussing. Now, here important point is, when the T maximum plus T minimum by 2 minus TB, that is the growing degree days, base temperature. When base temperature becomes zero, what will happen? So, no physiological activities are taking place. That's what I told several times. Here, the third law says that, okay, atoms won't move at temperatures absolute zero when it reaches. That is what. Here, as far as second law of thermodynamics is concerned, very interesting thing I will tell. I am going to demonstrate to you the second law of thermodynamics like this. Please see, I have kept water in one bowl and ice cubes are here. Now, I just read for your understanding, then I explain to you. In real life, okay, what we see is, put ice cube in a cup of water at room temperature. This is the water at room temperature. I am going to put later on. Okay, now I am putting it otherwise. Okay, let me see. This is the ice cube. This is the ice cube. This is the ice cube. And this is also ice cubes. Now, take a cup and then put some water in it and put some ice cubes in it. Second step. The water releases heat and the ice cube melts. The water being higher in temperature as compared to the zero temperature of the ice, the water releases the energy. Now, next step. Hence, the entropy of the water decreases. The entropy of the water decreases. Then which entropy is increasing? The ice cube then absorbs the same amount of heat which was released by water, and therefore its entropy increases. Water entropy is decreasing and ice entropy is increasing. Now, this is what the second law of thermodynamics, okay, I am telling both the entropy and enthalpy, just in a small demonstration I am going to give you. Now, the entropy increased in this process is much greater than the entropy decreased. What exactly does it mean? The water is at higher temperature, ice cube at lower temperature, water releases the energy as entropy is decreasing. Here, the entropy of the ice cube is increasing. Now, same principle, thermodynamic entropy always increases with time. What third law says? Entropy of a system approaches constant or zero when it reaches absolute temperature. So, these are the second and third laws of thermodynamics. Here, this is what we call it as the entropy. Entropy, as I said previously in the micrometeorology, I told from the micrometeorology of crops, so one important line I would like to discuss with you. The second law, what it says is that the net entropy of a system, always increases and never decreases, and it is always positive. Never an entropy is positive. This is what it says. Again, I have explained to you the third law of thermodynamics as well. Here, very, very interesting points I would like to share with you are, see, the concept of entropy. Here, enthalpy also, these two within first entropy half minute, enthalpy half minute. Even though I said I have discussed it with you 3 months back in my climate near the ground. Here, in a different way, I am going to explain to you. Unavailability of a system's thermal energy for conversion into mechanical work, often interpreted as a disorder. Unavailability of the energy. For example, what is the unavailability of the energy? Here, the wood I have taken, I burnt it. If it is a single wood, there is same energy, but that energy is not available. So when I burnt it, it is becoming smoke, it is becoming fire, it is becoming ash, and then in 3 or 4 different ways, the energy dissipated outwards. Here I have written. So here I would like to enlighten further. A small example is when we just go for boiling of water in the kitchen, the entropy of the kitchen increases. When we are boiling water for our tea preparation, the entropy in the room, kitchen increases. That is also an example of entropy. And again, simple, I would like to share with you, when I discuss with you entropy, we should discuss with enthalpy also. What is enthalpy? I have said, I have discussed it in earlier class, but from micrometeorology of crops point of view, just only one example. Okay, enthalpy is the amount of internal energy contained in a compound. Enthalpy is an internal energy contained in a compound. Say for example, fire, heat of a solution. So of course, say for example, whenever we put some water in the hot patch. Now, when we rub the hot patch on our body, well, what it gives, it releases the enthalpy. We feel it. We feel internal energy. That is what we could say. Now, there is a small component, one word, Gibbs free energy. That also we, the agrometeorologists, should know. So, what it says, Gibbs free energy is when a process takes place in which there is an enthalpy. When a process takes place in which there is an enthalpy change. Okay, when there is a change in the enthalpy, only part of the enthalpy change is available for useful work. Only part of it is useful for useful work. It can be used for all the mechanics. Whenever we put some petrol in a scooter, no doubt it releases the energy up to the last drop, but all that energy cannot be converted into 100% mechanical energy. So Gibbs free energy states that the fraction of available energy for useful work is called as Gibbs free energy. This we discuss as we advance in the micrometeorology. Again, last part of today's class, two or three important points with reference to soil temperature and laws of thermodynamics. If you have time, please write very, very interesting points. Please write soil thermal properties. Soil thermal properties are very sensitive to soil thermal properties are very sensitive to the moisture content of the soils. Soil thermal properties. Okay, heat capacity, thermal conductivity, all the properties. We discussed it several times. Now, soil thermal properties are very sensitive to the moisture content of the soils. Why it is, tell me? It is because water has this bit will come in the jar of exams. Water has a much higher heat capacity. Water has, please write, water has a much higher heat capacity than the minerals, the organic materials that are present in the soil. Water has got higher thermal capacity. What is thermal capacity? What are the units? Basics I have already discussed with you. Now, another important point. Please write, sandy soils have steep increase of thermal conductivity. Sandy soils have steep increase of, presume that this is a sandy soil. This is a sandy soil. Sandy soil has got a steep increase of thermal conductivity. When this bit will come, when with moisture conductivity. If moisture is there in the sandy soils, steep soil, steep increase of thermal conductivity in the sandy soils as compared to clay soils. Now, third point, please write, clay soils are less sensitive to. Clay soils are less sensitive to a unit moisture change. Why? This bit will come because they have much greater porosity than sandy soils. Clay soils have much or more and more porosity than the sandy soils. I have explained to you. I need not say once again why clay soils have more porosity. You know it. Now, the implication is clay soils are less sensitive to a unit moisture change because they have more porosity. And another important point I will tell. Please write, this bit will come. Even in the SRF you can expect this exam. SRF exam. Soil organic matter. When we add organic matter to the soil, say for example, organic matter is there, if we add to the soil, what happens, sir? It lowers the thermal diffusivity. organic matter lowers the thermal diffusivity. Because, what is the reason? Because it's a high porosity and consequent lower thermal conductivity. Thermal conductivity is low. Before that, high porosity is there. Porosity here acts as a flask, what we take tea, what we keep tea for warm. Same principle. Porosity is more. Okay. Yes. Now, another interesting thing is, if we go for compaction of the soil, what will happen when we compact the soil? The porosity is reduced, pore spaces are reduced, air is taken out. Then what will happen? Compaction increases the thermal diffusivity by decreasing the volume of the insulating pore space. This is what? When pore space is there, air is there. Air acts as an insulator. When we make soil compact, okay, this will happen. What will happen? Again, please write, compaction increases the thermal diffusivity. Why it increases the thermal diffusivity? The pore space is coming out. Pore space. We are taking out the air, which acts as the insulating material. So last important point. Whenever we plow the soil, please remember, whenever we plow the soil, primary tillage, okay, 9-tine cultivator, secondary tillage, first primary tillage, disc plow, 9-tine cultivator, seed bed preparation, all these things. Whenever we do all these things, please note that very important point. Please write plow and pack. When you plow and you pack it, okay, this bit will come 100%. When you plow and pack, okay, it produces high thermal conductivity. It produces high thermal conductivity than primary tillage, secondary tillage, tertiary tillage without compacting. This is very important. When you compact the soil, what will happen? It increases the thermal conductivity. That's why we can protect the roots from cold damage or cool damage. Thanking you for your patience.